Hello to all the AI table users out there. Today, I wanted to show you how you can upload attachments into AI table. If you use AI table, which is a wonderful platform, you may have been confused on how do you upload attachments because when you're in a third-party automation platform such as Zapier, Pabbly, Make, or non-active pieces, you will never see the attachments field for the data sheet that you have. And let's actually walk through this in a quick moment. But the whole point of this video today is to give you an understanding of how the steps that you need to take in order to upload images to your AI table account during your automation workflows. So you're going to need a couple things here to follow this tutorial. One, you're obviously going to need an AI table account. You're going to need to use a third-party automation platform such as Zapier, Pabbly, Make, or Active Pieces. And then you're also going to need another platform called Postman. Postman is really important because we're just going to test out the API. We're going to run the API. The API actually works. But because I know a lot of people are not really familiar with APIs and the API panel inside of AI table, I want to walk through that process before we actually do it in a third-party platform. So once again, you're going to need an AI table account. You're going to need a third-party automation platform. You're going to need Postman, which is free. You can use that whether it is a desktop app or a web app. And then the last thing we're going to need is ChatGPT here. And we're using ChatGPT to just help us out with one part of formatting. And then also we're going to be using Dolly here to generate these images as I go through this. So the first thing we're going to do to help you guys understand this is create a data sheet, which is very simple. You can just go to add a new data sheet. And I'm actually going to name this image test. And I'm glad this actually popped up. Oh, I'm going to delete this options field because we don't need this. And I'm glad this popped up. The API panel, if you have not seen this, it is always here inside of your AI table account. You just click here where it says API and it will bring up this little widget. Now, this is important because what this literally is showing you how to either get information, add information, update information, or delete information from your data sheet when you are using the API here. And it actually gives you the entire format. Now, the reason why I'm going through this is because right now, when you create a data sheet, that information is technically blank. So if I come here to add records as an example, we see records here. We just see field name. We don't really see anything there. The same thing for update as well. Now, if I come here actually and I type in tests, we actually see that pop up. Now, the field has been registered because there's actual data inside of there, which makes sense. And then we actually have to do the same thing for our attachments when we're uploading them locally. Locally just means like we're inside of AI table doing this is not an API request or anything of that sort. So once this is actually uploaded, we see a lot more data come in right here. And this is actually what's needed, important to look at for our actual API request when we go upload this information. And this is where Postman comes in because Postman is a wonderful platform that tests API and do various things. And we're going to do that exact same thing here. Now, one crucial thing that I really want to notate is that when you come use Postman, and let me do this, when you come to Postman inside of the web version, you might not have the ability to actually upload files. And the reason that may be, actually, I don't know the reason for that may be, what you can do if you're not able to actually upload files is come here to your settings. And when you come to settings, you can actually maybe click this read files outside working directory. If this is blocked off and you can't do it, that means you need to install the free actual application to your desktop, your Windows device or Apple device. And it's the same process when you end up downloading the application and creating a free account or signing in. You will for sure be able to upload files. And after that, when you come back into the web, somehow it syncs up in a cloud-like format, and you will also still be able to upload files. So just so that isn't confusing, I'm just going to do this from the desktop. So it doesn't seem like I'm really going back and forth. When you come inside of Postman, whether you're in the desktop app or web application, you're going to see a screen like this. And all you have to do is come here and click on this plus to bring up this tab here. Now, first, what we're actually going to do is come back here into AI table, and we're actually going to upload information here because this is the most important part. This is a two-step process. So what you necessarily do is when you make the API request to upload the attachment is that you're like creating a request, like you're uploading it into your space. And then you have a certain amount of time in that space to validate that request and actually create a record. So if you look here at the API where I'm actually at the attachment API here because I'm just uploading an attachment. I'm not actually creating a record here, if that makes sense. I'm just uploading the attachment. Now, in order to do this, what we can do is actually just come here and grab this URL, and then we're going to come back here into Postman. We're going to paste this URL. We can change this into a post. We need to actually have our authorization here. So mine is saved. I don't mind you seeing it here. I'm going to change mine, but you shouldn't be using somebody else's API keys anyway. But I have that saved here. And then all I actually literally need to do is come here to body and just change this to form data. Come inside of this key value, type in file, come to this text, change it to file, select the file, which can be basically any picture or attachment. I'm just going to put this picture here. I'm going to press open, as in uploading it. And then I'm just going to press send. And you should see something like this, which basically says a message for success. And that basically means that you've taken this and you've done the first part of making the request of uploading the attachment basically into your AI table space. And what happens here is actually we have a token that basically gives us a certain amount of time to actually validate this and create a record. So now what we're going to do, because we've done the first part, is just click this plus. And then we have to actually do the process of adding the record, right? So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to copy this entire URL. We're going to come back here into Postman. We're going to paste this. We're going to change this to post. And my authorization is going to be a bearer token. That is actually saved again already. I'm going to come here to the body. And the body is actually going to be raw because we're sending a raw response. And that response is actually this right here. Now, this is actually perfect. And this is what we need. But there are two things I want to point out. One, there is a ID field here, and we don't need this ID field here. Two, if you happen to have other information here, it will actually, just even if it's another record, it will start populating a second field, and we don't want that. So I highly always recommend there's no data, but just to make sure there's just only one record for sure. Because what we can actually do is copy this. We can go to ChatGPT, and this is exactly what we can say. I want you to remove the ID from this JSON. And I also want you to replace the information with this here. And the information that you're going to ask it to replace it with is what we got in that first request that we did with this information here. So you're just going to copy it from the first bracket after data. You can come back here into ChatGPT and paste this. And then it's going to give us that response. We don't copy this whole response. Once again, we just come here after data, copy this first bracket. Don't copy like the parentheses. Let's come back into Postman. We're going to come into our second one, right? Make sure it's raw. We're going to paste this. And then we're going to press send. And now it's been successfully sent. And if you don't believe me, we can come back into AI table. And we can see that same picture here successfully uploaded, right? How cool is that? So from Postman, we've done this in a normal way. Now, most of the time, this is not ideal because nobody's automating through Postman, or a majority of people aren't. So the next step is showing you how to do this inside of a automation platform like Make, as an example. And I already have this actually built out. I just need to change some information, and then I'm just going to show you this, and then we're actually going to go into actually creating it. So I just need to come here and grab this URL, press OK, and then I need to come here and I need to grab this URL. And then we're going to run this automation. This is the image being generated by DALL-E. This is me downloading the file, and then this is me uploading the file into the AI table space. And then this is actually creating the attachment. I'm creating the record with that attachment there. Right. So I can come back to AI table. I can come here, come look at this picture. There we go. A happy frog. I think that's what the prompt is inside of there right now. Yes, a happy frog, right? That's fine. So we've done this now. And as you can see, I'm not using AI table module, right? Because the field would not populate in order to upload that. So let's do this from scratch. This is going to be actually very simple and easy. First, what we need to do is let's open a new tab and let's type in DALL-E 3 API, because we want to come get we're going to use DALL-E here to generate this image. And all we need is to come here, copy this URL. Let's go back into Make and create this from scratch. So we're going to need a HTTP. We're going to make a request, the URL. We're going to put a post. We're going to put a header, is authorization. Actually, I'm sorry. This first is content type. Application JSON. And then this is authorization. And what this is going to be your API key from OpenAI. Once again, if you try to take mine, it will know. You need to make sure you type in bear and then paste that. Your body type is going to be raw, and it's going to be JSON. Parse the response. And then literally what you can do is just come here and grab the same thing like I've been doing. Grab that first bracket, don't grab the quotation. Come here, press OK, and then let's run this. No, I did not mean that much. So this is generating the image, and I know it's working because it would have gave me an error if I put in anything wrong. So this has been generated. I can come down here to data, right? And then actually this is here. So now we've generated an image with DALL-E. And actually really quick, let's come back inside of Postman and just do that, just for learning's sake, right? So this is going to be a post request. Here we have this here. I don't know why it didn't save that. It's fine. Come back. Let's copy. Enter my token. I don't even have a vault key, so I don't know why. I feel like it's already saved. Okay, sorry. So coming back to body, it's going to be raw again. I'm just going to copy this. Come into Postman, press send. Right, this picture has been generated. I can open this picture. At least I think I can. Yeah, and there it goes right there. that is the picture of. So we've now generated an image with API, the Dolly API inside of Make and inside of Postman. So now let's go through the steps importing that into our AI table. So the next module that you're going to use is actually download a file. And since we structured our data, we can just grab that file here. We're going to press OK. And then we're going to make another request, right? This is going to be a post. The URL that you're going to grab is the attachments URL. We're going to paste that here. We're going to come back here. This is going to be, oh, actually, yeah, sorry. I don't know why I was having a brain fart. Let me just grab this here. This is going to be your API key. Going to be authorization. The body type is actually going to be form. Add a field type, file. You can name this file as usual. HTTP, get a file. We can also go to map as well. Sometimes it just goes to the HTTP get a file, and it'll still run. Actually, we can do that next. So let's actually like just run this. Right. So it still made that request. It was successful. How do we know that? We see the data success, and then we see this type of information here that we need again. So what we can do one more time is come to HTTP. We're going to make another request. This, once again, these are all post requests. The URL that we need is actually from the add records. So you can paste that there. They need the authorization. We need content type is application JSON. The body type is raw. Content type is JSON. Parse this response. We're going to request the content. And then remember what I had said last time, right? Like we were already in ChatGPT and we had to do this for us. And this is actually the layout that we would need right now as far as testing, because we haven't added anything and all that good stuff. And even if you did, you can just come back and have ChatGPT change it and add it. So we put this here. Now we just need to map the information, right? So actually, I'm done. I don't need to change the name. The name of the title I can change. I just like to have it as the file name. It's not that important. Name of the file, once again, is still the file name. Actually, what I can do is delete that stuff. We have the size here. That's actually coming from the data here. Size. We have the type that it is, like an image or a PDF. It's an image. We have the token validator. It's very important. We have the width. And we have the height. And then we have the URL. And that should be it. Let's press OK. And then let's run this. All right, so we can come to AI table. We can come here. And we can see the picture of our cat. And let's just do one last test, right? So one more, back into AI table. There we go. A very happy no coder. So now we have officially uploaded records into AI table using the API. I hope this has been a very helpful video. I am actually working on a course for AI table as I've been using it for a year, and the API is very powerful. So I will be having more content, but an actual dedicated course for this as well. If you found this helpful, please feel free to leave a comment or send me a message, and I'll be happy to showcase other things with AI table as well. Have a wonderful day.